My name is Dinkel. I've been working with the NRCS for a little over 3 years now. I'm an agricultural engineer. I'm from Lakeville, Minnesota. It's a suburb of the Twin Cities. I grew up there, went to high school there. I always liked the science courses, and I just wanted to do something that I felt could be impactful to the community that I was living in.
How would you best describe what it's like working with NRCS Minnesota?
Working with the NRCS Minnesota, it's a really friendly environment. What I really like is, especially when you're new and you have the opportunity to go to all these different trainings, you're put in a room with these people from all over the state that you probably wouldn't work with day to day. And I have just found that the people I work with here are so nice. It's so easy to talk to everyone. We all have a lot of similar interests and similar value sets. So it's just really cool. I just feel so lucky to get to work with a lot of awesome, like-minded people.
Yeah, it's super friendly and super welcoming.
Yeah. I love Minnesota. It's gorgeous. I live in Winona, which is just about 30 minutes up the river from where we are now. I've always been a really outdoorsy person. I grew up camping with my family, hiking, biking, rock climbing, all that awesome stuff. And the bluffs are incredible. The Mississippi River is awesome. I love that this state has a lot for us in terms of outdoor recreation. So if somebody was wanting to become an engineer with the NRCS, the best thing to do is to start with your college degree. You do need a degree from an ABET accredited college. So I got my degree from the University of Minnesota in bioproducts and biosystems engineering, where I had a lot of agricultural related classes. And the NRCS also looks for a lot of soil science classes as well as agricultural experience. But the big thing is the 4-year engineering degree from the accredited college.
Can you tell us a little bit about what your early training experience was like?
My early training experience just included a lot of shadowing. Charlie, the technician in my office, just took me everywhere he went. When I started, it was August, so we were pretty well into construction season, so that just included me going with him for all the jobs he was on. I would go out surveying with him, and he'd teach me how to use our equipment. As well as that on-the-job training, there's a lot of formal training sessions set up here, either by the NRCS or our partners like the Soil and Water Conservation District or the Board of Water and Soil Resources. Host a lot of trainings on all sorts of things, on project-specific things, on natural resource conservation. I took a lot of courses just on water health, soil health, basics like that, farming practices. So we have a big mix of those. There's an online database where you can access a lot of training plus those in-person ones. So a good combination of classroom training and out on the job training with the different more experienced staff here. Mentorship here at the NRCS is huge and has definitely played a huge role in my being successful so far. So I had an official mentor, an engineer at the state office, as well as one of the technicians in my office. Just kind of took me out with him everywhere. You know, every job, every survey, everything we had to go check out, I was just going along with him. And going forward, and even now, those people are always there for me if I have questions with the design or with anything I'm working on. There's always someone there to help you. And on top of that, my boss is a great resource. The engineers at the state office are a great resource. So it's a lot of responsibility to take on when you're first starting, especially if it's your first job. But the support network here is huge and very dense.
Coming from college and then getting all this training, do you think you were prepared for this job or received the training to be prepared?
Yes, I definitely had the training to be prepared. I felt prepared and not prepared at the same time, because being that it was such a big job and something so much larger than we're typically used to working on, at certain times I felt like a little scared and nervous, like, this is a little over my head. But honestly, there's only one way to learn, and it's to just jump in and start doing it. Even though sometimes I felt maybe a little nervous about what I was getting myself into, the support system here is really strong. So through any challenge I had with actually applying the training and college experience, that support was there. All you really have to do is ask, and somebody is right there to help you. So whether I thought so or not, I do think I was prepared to take something like this on. The best part of my job is definitely working with the farmers, landowners, producers. Farmers are definitely the backbone of our country. Without farmers, we wouldn't eat and have so many other things that they produce. So it's really rewarding to work with them. And a lot of these jobs are really expensive and people wouldn't be able to afford them on their own. So to be able to work with these people who are in my own community and do really good work for us just feels really good. I love working for the NRCS. I think, the only thing that can be challenging is just that we are the government. And as a lot of people know, the government moves slowly. So that's just something we have to prep our landowners with. Like, hey, this is just gonna take some time. But in the long run, it's really not a big deal because things get done, and I think our help is really beneficial because something like this costs a lot of money, and the landowners wouldn't have been able to afford it to do it on their own since something really needed to happen. So when they work with us and they get the cost share, they're able to make these things happen. This is a grade stabilization structure. We built it because there was a pretty large gully working here. It was about 30 feet wide by 8 feet deep right at the head, and it had started washing out in 2007. There was a really historic flood down here in 2007. So it just kind of been slowly eaten back, and they finally decided they were ready to do something about it. So we put this structure up, and part of the reason why the pipe is so big is because there's not a lot of storage behind us. The culverts that run underneath the road, there's 2 that come under the neighbor's driveway, and then there's 1 on this Union Ridge Drive here. And because you don't want to back up water underneath culverts while it's storing here behind the dam, we had to keep the dam underneath those culvert outlet elevations. So from the top of the intake of the riser over there to the top of this dam here, we only had about 5 feet of storage that we were able to work with. But there's nearly a 400-acre watershed coming behind it. So the flow going through there, we designed it for about 318 cubic feet per second. That's how we ended up with a pretty short structure, very large pipe. And then the rock that we're seeing, that is to protect the ground from scouring, because when water runs through the pipe, it's naturally gonna form a scour hole. So we put that there so that it doesn't scour on its own and then make another gully and eat its way back up over the pipe. And then right behind us here is the outlet channel that will just carry the water away slowly compared to what it was coming in at.
What challenges did you come up with when designing this, and how did you kind of overcome those challenges?
While I was working on this, I think a lot of it was just everything was new. So not only was the design process new, but also we use a computer program called CAD to draw this up. And that's how we figure out quantities, that's how we put the plans together. So it was like a lot of new things at once for a job that's a little bit larger than what we're used to. So those things were challenging, but it was all a good opportunity to learn, because once you can learn something on a bigger scale, then it's easier in the future to apply the same thing but kind of dialed back on a smaller scale.
Do you feel proud of this project?
I feel really proud of this project, yeah. Like I said, there were some challenges going through it, just being that I was so new and it was such a big and complex project. But to see it done at the end of the day and to see it done really well feels really good. And it definitely kind of gives me the feeling like, okay, well, if I can do this, I can do anything. So I feel really grateful that I was given this project to work on, because it did a lot for my on-the-job confidence.
What was it like working with the landowner, the suppliers, and just like overall project? What was kind of that process like?
Once I had a design working, that's when I met with the landowners for the first time, and they were really willing and excited, because they'd been sitting with this problem for at least as long back since 2007. So they were really excited to get something that was going to fix this for them. And then the contractors they hired for this were really, really good to work with. They're really experienced, have been doing this for a long time. And what I appreciated about working with them is being a new engineer on the job, you can learn a lot from an experienced contractor, because you can do things on paper one way, but how it gets built might be something totally different. So they were just really great and understood that I was learning as well. And so it was just a really great collaborative experience where we worked together and I was able to learn a lot from them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're so cool. I love working for the NRCS. It's awesome. The work we do is super rewarding. I think it's really important that NRCS works on these sort of projects, because when you do a lot of these projects, they all add up to make a really large impact. If we weren't to put up the structure, there's a lot of harmful impacts to downstream. You have sediment washing out, and with the sediment, you can carry fertilizers and other farm products used that eventually, especially where we are here in Minnesota, makes its way into the Mississippi River. By doing these projects and holding back the water and holding back the sediment, and you do it all over Minnesota, I mean, each engineer might work on 10 to 20 projects a year, you're just kind of slowly but surely making a lot of small impacts that make a big impact.